The fluorescent lights buzzed like angry hornets in the empty classroom, casting long shadows that danced across the scuffed linoleum floor. I slammed my locker shut, the metallic clang echoing down the hall like a gunshot, and there he was, Hunter freaking Caldwell, leaning against the wall with that cocky grin that made half the school swoon and the other half want to punch him. "Hey, teacher's pet," he drawled, his voice low and teasing, like he owned the air between us. "You gonna rat me out for skipping calc again? Or what?" My heart jackhammered in my chest. Not from fear. Hell, I dreamed of this moment 1,000 times, replaying it in my head during those endless nights scrolling through his Instagram, zooming in on the way his biceps flexed under his Letterman jacket. But now, face to face, all I could manage was a stuttered, "What do you want, Hunter?" He stepped closer, close enough that I could smell the faint cedar of his cologne mixed with the sweat from afternoon practice, and for a split second, I thought he was going to deck me. Instead, he rubbed the back of his neck, that grin faltering into something almost vulnerable. "Look, Thomas, I need a favor. Big one. You're acing Mr. Hargrove's class, right? Help me study for the midterm. Please. Coach'll bench me if I flunk." I blinked, the world tilting on its axis. Me? Help him? The guy who'd spent freshman year calling me four eyes behind my back, who'd laughed when his buddies shoved me into the lockers for looking at them funny. But there was this pull, magnetic and terrifying, like gravity had decided to rewrite the laws of physics just for us. And damn it, couldn't say no. Not to those hazel eyes, flecked with gold like autumn leaves under the Ohio sun. "Fine," I muttered, shoving my hands into my backpack straps to hide the tremble. "Library. Tomorrow. 7 sharp. That night, I lay in my twin bed in our cramped ranch house on Elm Street, staring at the water-stained ceiling while the distant hum of the highway lulled me into a half-sleep. Mom was at her night shift at the diner. Dad passed out in the recliner with a Browns game replay flickering on the TV. Classic blue-collar Cleveland life, where dreams went to die under the weight of mortgage payments and medical bills. I'd always been the good kid, the one who buried himself in books because the real world was too jagged, too full of sharp edges like Hunter's smirk. Gay in a town where the pride flag was more likely to get burned than waved? Yeah, I kept that locked down tighter than Fort Knox. But Hunter, God, he'd been my secret obsession since the day he quarterbacked that impossible Hail Mary against Toledo High, his silhouette lit up like some all-American god under the Friday night lights. The library the next evening smelled like old paper and desperation, the kind of place where fluorescent tubes flickered like they were on their last legs. I claimed our spot in the back corner, away from the prying eyes of the debate club nerds and the stoners pretending to study. Hunter showed up 10 minutes late, hair still damp from a shower, wearing faded Levi's that hugged his thighs just right and a gray hoodie that made his shoulders look even broader. He dropped his backpack with a thud and slid into the chair across from me, all 6'2" of him folding awkwardly into the kid-sized seat. "Thanks, man," he said, voice gruff. "I owe you." We started with derivatives, basic stuff for me, black magic for him. I explained the chain rule like I was defusing a bomb, my voice steady even as my pulse raced every time his knee brushed mine under the table. He leaned in close, brow furrowed in concentration, and I caught glimpses of the boy beneath the bravado, the faint scar above his lip from a skateboarding wipeout, the way his fingers drummed absently on the textbook like he was itching for a football. "You're good at this," he murmured after I walked him through a problem, his breath warm against my ear. "Like, really good." How do you not get bored? I shrugged, heat creeping up my neck. Beats getting tackled on the field. It was a joke, lame as hell, but he laughed. A real one, deep and rumbling, the kind that made my stomach flip. We talked then, not just calculus. He confessed how coach rode him like a rented mule, how his old man expected straight A's and a scholarship to Ohio State or bust. Pressure's killing me, he admitted, eyes dropping to the table. Feel like I'm drowning sometimes. I wanted to reach across, squeeze his hand, tell him I knew that ache all too well, the invisible noose of expectations tightening with every breath. But I didn't. Instead, I said, "You're tougher than you think, Hunter. You'll crush this." By the end of the session, we'd powered through half the chapter, and he high-fived me on the way out, his palm rough and calloused against mine. "Same time tomorrow?" I nodded, watching him saunter off into the twilight, that easy swagger masking whatever storms brewed inside. Back home, I replayed it all in the shower, steam fogging the mirror as my hand wandered south, guilt and ecstasy twisting like vines. This was dangerous. He was straight as an arrow, captain of the football team, king of the homecoming court. I was the quiet gay kid with a crush that could level cities. But for the first time, I felt seen not as the freak, but as Thomas. And that was worth every risk. The weeks blurred into a rhythm. Study sessions twice a week. Hunter showing up with takeout from Gino's, greasy pepperoni pizza that we'd split while quizzing each other on integrals. He opened up more with every slice, stories spilling out like he'd been holding them back for years. His mom bailing when he was 10, leaving him and his dad in that drafty duplex on the east side. The pressure to be the man of the house, to carry the team, the family, the whole damn town on those broad shoulders. "Sometimes I just want to run," he said one night, staring out the library window at the falling snow. "Screw the scouts. Screw the legacy. Just disappear." I got it. God, did I? My own secrets gnawed at me. The way I'd lie awake listening to Dad's snores, wondering if he'd disown me if he knew. The crushes on faceless boys in the locker room, quick glances stolen like candy from a jar. But with Hunter, it was different. Real. We'd linger after the books closed. Talking music, he loved classic rock. I pretended to get Springsteen. Movies, he swore by the Goonies. I countered with Dead Poets Society. Dreams we never voiced aloud. One evening, as the clock ticked past closing, he caught me doodling in my notebook, a sketch of the stadium under stars. "That's good," he said softly, tracing the lines with his fingertip. Our hands brushed, and electricity crackled, sharp as a live wire. He pulled back like he'd been burned, but not before I saw it. The flicker in his eyes, curiosity laced with something darker, hungrier. Spring training ramped up, and our sessions got squeezed, him bruised and bandaged from drills, me buried in AP exams. But he texted now, late-night memes about calculus puns, inside jokes that made me grin like an idiot in bio class. "Miss our pizza nights," one read at 1 a.m. "You free Friday?" My thumbs hovered, heart in my throat. Friday was prom prep for everyone else, but for me, just another night with a rom-com and microwave popcorn. "Yeah," I typed back. "Library," his reply, "Nah. My place." Dad's working late. I stared at the screen, pulse thundering. His place. Alone. This was crossing lines I hadn't even mapped. But as I hit send, "See you then," I knew there was no turning back. Hunter Caldwell wasn't just a crush anymore. He was a storm, and I was diving headfirst into the eye. The Caldwell house was a far cry from our shoebox. Sprawling ranch on a corner lot, American flag snapping in the breeze, the faint scent of fresh-cut grass mingling with charcoal from the neighbor's grill. Hunter met me at the door in basketball shorts and a tank top, sweatpants slung low on his hips, that V of muscle disappearing into fabric that left little to the imagination. "Come on in," he said, voice casual, but his eyes darted like he was casing the joint for escape routes. The living room was all worn leather couches and faded team photos, a half-empty Coors in the fridge that he offered me before thinking better of it. "Soda's fine," I lied, stomach twisting. We set up at the kitchen table, textbooks splayed like battle plans. But focus frayed fast, him stretching cat-like, muscles rippling, me stealing glances at the curve of his neck. Halfway through Limits, he groaned and shoved the book away. "Screw this. Wanna watch something?" Before I could answer, he was queuing up Top Gun on the ancient DVD player, Maverick's grin mirroring his own. We sank into the couch, inches apart, the air thick with unspoken tension. During the beach volleyball scene, oiled torsos gleaming under the sun, he shifted, thigh pressing solid against mine. Neither of us moved. "Thomas," he said during a lull, voice rough as gravel. The movie's glow painted his face in blues and silvers. "Why do you do this? Help me. After all the shit I gave you." I swallowed hard, the truth bubbling up like acid. "Because you're worth it." It hung there, heavy, and then his hand was on my knee, tentative, testing. My breath hitched, world narrowing to that point of contact. Slowly, agonizingly, he leaned in, lips brushing mine soft as a whisper. Fireworks exploded behind my eyelids, sweet and scorching. He tasted like cherry coke and possibility, his fingers threading into my hair as the kiss deepened. Hungry, real. We broke apart gasping, foreheads pressed together. "I've wanted that," he murmured, voice breaking. "For weeks. Fuck, Thomas, I think I'm..." The front door slammed open. "Hunter? That you? Son?" His dad's voice boomed from the hall, boots thudding like thunder. Hunter jerked back, face paling. "Shit. Hide the books or wait. Just act normal." I nodded, heart pounding, as he tossed me a blanket like it was a lifeline. "Mr." Caldwell lumbered in, beer gut straining his flannel, eyes narrowing at me. "Who's this?" "Study buddy," Hunter said too quickly, all trace of softness gone. "Thomas from Calc," the man grunted, cracking a bud. "Teacher's pet. Huh? Good. Kid needs straightening out." He clapped Hunter's shoulder hard enough to bruise, oblivious to the tremor in his son's frame. As he shuffled to the TV, muttering about the Indians game, Hunter shot me an apology in his eyes, raw, pleading. I forced a smile, but inside, something cracked. This was just the beginning. The kiss? A spark. But sparks in the dark could ignite wildfires. Summer heat clung to Cleveland like a bad hangover, the air thick and humid even as June edged into July. School let out in a blur of final bells and yearbook signings. But for me and Hunter, it was just a shift in scenery, from library tables to stolen afternoons at Edgewater Park, sprawled on ratty blankets with dog-eared textbooks and lukewarm cokes from the vending machine. That first kiss lingered like a bruise, sweet and tender, marking us both. We'd sneak touches now, a brush of knuckles in the back seat of his truck, his arm slung casual around my shoulders when no one was looking. It was fragile, this thing blooming between us, like wildflowers pushing through concrete cracks in the Rust Belt lots. "You're glowing, Tom," my best friend Lila said one lunch period, her dark curls frizzing in the cafeteria steam as she stabbed at her mystery meat. Lila knew everything, had since the day I came out to her in 8th grade, sobbing over a boy who ghosted me after Spin the Bottle. She was my anchor, all sharp wit and unfiltered truth, the kind of friend who dragged me to indie band shows in abandoned warehouses just to get you out of your head. "You brooding poet. Spill. Is it that jock finally noticing you're not invisible?" I flushed, shoving a fry in my mouth to buy time. "It's nothing. Just helping him study." It was everything, late-night drives down the lakefront, windows down, Bruce Springsteen blasting Thunder Road as Hunter sang off-key, his hand on my thigh like it belonged there. Confessions whispered in the dark of his basement. How he'd hooked up with girls at parties but felt hollow, like chasing shadows. How he'd caught himself staring at me in the halls, wondering what it meant. "I like guys, Thomas," he'd admitted one night, voice muffled against my shirt. "Or, at least, I like you. A lot, but secrets have teeth. They bite when you least expect." It started small, Hunter pulling away at the gas station when his teammate Jake roared by in his lifted Chevy, hollering Caldwell, "Get your ass to practice." The easy affection iced over, replaced by quick nods and later, man that stung like salt in a cut. I tell myself it was paranoia, the old fears creeping in like fog off Lake Erie. But then came the party. The bonfire at Pine Hollow was legend. Kegs buried in coolers, pickup trucks circling like wagons, the crackle of flames lighting up faces flushed with cheap beer and bravado. Hunter had begged me to come. "It'll be fun. Promise. Just stick close." I did, nursing a solo cup of flat soda in the shadows, watching him hold court by the fire pit, Jake and the linebackers slapping his back, cheerleader Brittany draped over his arm like a trophy. She was all bleach blonde hair and push-up bras, the kind of girl who'd marry a quarterback and pop out mini MES in Packers jerseys. When her lips found his neck, giggling, something in me shattered. I turned to bolt, but his hand caught my wrist, firm, urgent. "Wait, Tom, it's nothing. Just playing the part." His eyes pleaded, hazel depths stormy under the firelight. We slipped away to the tree line, the party's roar fading to a distant hum. "I hate this," he growled, backing me against rough bark. "Pretending. With you, it's real. Fuck, Thomas, you're the only real thing I've got." Then he kissed me, fierce, claiming, his body pinning mine in a way that erased the world. Hands roamed, breaths mingled, the scent of pine and smoke wrapping us in a haze. For those stolen minutes, we were free, two boys in the American heartland, rewriting the script. But freedom's fleeting. Jake stumbled upon us mid-kiss, his flashlight beam cutting through the dark like Judgment Day. "What the Hunter?" With him, laughter barked out, cruel and echoing, as he backed away. "Holy shit, bro. Teacher's pet? You're joking." Hunter shoved off me, face ashen. "Shut up, man. It's not." But Jake was already gone, hollering for the crew. By morning, the whispers spread like wildfire through group chats. "Caldwell's a fag? With that nerd?" Texts blew up my phone. Anonymous slurs, eggplant emojis laced with venom. Lila found me in the bathroom stall, heaving dry sobs. "They'll move on," she soothed, rubbing circles on my back. "Jocks are dumb as bricks. But Hunter, you gotta talk to him." I did, cornering him after practice in the empty locker room, the air heavy with chlorine and sweat. He was toweling off, avoiding my eyes, that godlike body now a fortress. "It was a mistake," he muttered, yanking on his jeans. "Jake's full of shit. We're just friends, right? Study buddies." The word gutted me. "Friends? Hunter, you kissed me." "Said you?" My voice cracked, raw as the tile underfoot. He whirled, eyes blazing. "What do you want from me, Thomas? My life's fucked now. Dad'll kill me. Coach'll cut me. Everything I've busted my ass for, gone because of this." He gestured wildly between us, disgust twisting his features. Not at me, at himself. "I can't. Just drop it." I left in a daze, the Ohio sky pressing down like a lid. Betrayal? No. Worse, fear. His fear, mirroring mine, but weaponized. Days blurred, me skipping the cafeteria, him ghosting my texts. Lila dragged me to Lakewood Park one humid afternoon, forcing ice cream cones as therapy. "He's scared, Tom. Closeted kings always are. But you're stronger. Don't let him dim your light." She was right. I threw myself into summer job at the library, shelving romances that mocked my ache. Thomas Hardy, Scott Fitzgerald, tales of doomed love in star-spangled lands. One evening, as thunder rumbled distant, Hunter appeared at the circulation desk, rain-slicked and hollow-eyed. "Can we talk? Please." We ended up in my truck, parked at the edge of the Cuyahoga River, wipers slapping rhythmically against the downpour. "I'm sorry," he started, voice thick. "That night." Panicked. "Jake's been writing me, telling everyone it's a phase, a prank. But it's not. I like you, Thomas. More than like. I just don't know how to be this guy." I stared at the river's oily gleam, reflecting city lights like shattered promises. "Then be him with me." "Not them." He nodded, tentative, and when his hand found mine across the console, I didn't pull away. We talked till the rain eased, plans for college, escaping Cleveland's chokehold for Ann Arbor or Bloomington, where flags flew freer. He kissed my knuckles, soft as absolution. "Fall semester starts soon. We'll figure it out." Hope flickered, fragile as fireflies. But autumn brought shadows. Football season kicked off with Hunter under the lights. A machine passes slicing air, crowd roaring his name. I watched from the bleachers, anonymous in the sea of red and white, heart swelling with pride and pain. Post-game parties became minefields. I'd catch him glancing my way, a secret smile, before Brittany or some sorority pledge pulled him into the fray. Then Thomas, wait, no, that's me. Wait, the other Thomas? No, just me. Thomas Riley, lost in my own narrative. But there was Marcus, the new transfer from Detroit, tall, black, with a fade and a laugh that lit rooms. He joined the Lit Mag, all easy charm and shared playlists of Hozier and Frank Ocean. "You're intense," he told me over coffee at the Daily, his knee bumping mine under the table. In a good way, flirting, maybe. A distraction from the Hunter-shaped hole. Hunter noticed. At our next study session, code for makeout in his truck, he was possessive, lips bruising mine, hands mapping territories like uncharted land. "Who's that guy?" he demanded after, breath ragged. "Saw you laughing with him." Jealousy, sharp and new. "Just a friend." I echoed his old line, but it tasted bitter. "Like us, right?" he deflated, pulling me close. "No, not like us." That night, we went further, clothes shedding in the cab, skin on skin under the harvest moon. It was clumsy, fervent, a declaration in gasps and whispers. "I love you," he murmured against my collarbone, the words a vow. I echoed them back, believing, for the first time, in happy endings. But love's a river, twisting treacherous. Homecoming loomed, and with it, the King's Court. Hunter asked me to ditch, not go as dates, God no, but shadow him from afar. I agreed, fool that I was. The gym glittered with streamers and strobe lights, Sweet Caroline thumping as couples swayed. I nursed Punch in the corner, Lila at my side in her thrift store gown, when Jake sauntered up, breath sour with whiskey. "Teacher's pet," he slurred, clapping my shoulder too hard. "Heard you and Caldwell got close. That true? Or you just his charity case?" Lila stepped forward, all fire. "Back off, asshole." But Jake laughed, loud, drawing eyes. Hunter appeared then, crown askew, face thunderous. "What the fuck, Jake? Leave him alone." The room hushed. Jake smirked. "Protecting your boyfriend. QB, everyone knows. Snapped a pic last week, you two sucking face by the bleachers. Sent it to the team chat. Legendary." Hunter's world crumbled. He lunged, fists flying, a brawl erupting amid screams and shattering punch bowls. I froze as security hauled them apart, blood trickling from Hunter's lip. Brittany wailed, Dad's truck peeling out of the lot with Hunter shoved inside. Me, left in the wreckage, the photo burning in my mind, our private moment, weaponized. The fallout hit like a Midwest blizzard, swift, unrelenting, burying everything under drifts of ice and silence. Monday morning, the halls of Lincoln High buzzed with the homecoming scandal, whispers slithering like snakes. Hunter's gay. With Riley? No way. Lockers slammed with extra force, eyes averted or accusatory. I kept my head down, backpack a shield, but the weight pressed in. Lila met me at my locker, her eyeliner smudged from lack of sleep. "The pics everywhere," she hissed, shoving her phone under my nose. There it was, grainy but unmistakable, Hunter's hand in my hair, our mouths fused in the truck's cab, time-stamped from last week's study session. Anonymous accounts had amplified it, hashtags like QBqueer trending locally. "They're destroying him," I whispered, throat tight. Hunter's texts had stopped cold Saturday night. No calls, no drive-bys. Coach suspended him indefinitely. Dad grounded him till kingdom come. I pictured him in that duplex, walls closing in, the man who'd raised him alone now staring like he'd birthed a stranger. I skipped calc, holing up in the AV room with Marcus, who I'd confided in over panicked voicemails. He was steady, that Detroit grit shining through. No judgment, just a quiet, "You deserve better than hiding, Tom." We edited footage for the Lit Mag short film, his shoulder brushing mine in the dim projector glow, a comfort without pressure. But my mind wandered to Hunter, the boy who'd traced constellations on my back under summer stars, promising we'd run away to California, surf the Pacific and flip off the Rust Belt. By lunch, Rumor mill churned uglier. Slurs scrawled on Hunter's locker. Faggot. Quitter. Jake, sporting a black eye from the fight, strutted like a peacock, crowing to anyone who'd listen. Just a joke, man. Caldwell overreacted, but I saw the malice, the small-town bigotry bubbling up like crude from old wells. Lila and I plotted retaliation. Deepfakes? Doxing? No. Too risky. Instead, I drove to his house after school, gravel crunching under my tires like bones. The door cracked open, Hunter's dad filling the frame, face carved from granite. He ain't seeing nobody. His voice was whiskey rough, eyes bloodshot. Especially not you. Please, Mr. Caldwell. Just get off my porch. Boy, the door slammed, final as a guillotine. I sat in the truck, tears blurring the porch light, until cop cars wailed distant. Another domestic. Probably. Hunter's world. Fracturing. That night, Mom noticed my red eyes over meatloaf, her waitress uniform still crisp from the double shift. Boy troubles? She asked, soft as chamomile tea. Mom knew had since she found my browser history, all queer lit and coming out stories. No hugs, no sermons, just a quiet love who you love, Thomas. But guard your heart, Dad grunted from the paper, oblivious or uncaring. In Cleveland, love was a luxury, not a right. I texted Hunter, we need to talk. I'm not running. No reply. Days dragged, a limbo of avoidance. Practice fields echoed without his throws, the team fracturing, some loyal, Jake's crew jeering. Then, Thursday, a note slipped into my locker. Meet me. Old Mill. Midnight. The abandoned steel mill loomed on the river's edge, rusting skeletons against the moonlit sky, a graveyard of Cleveland's glory days. I parked in the weeds, flashlight beam cutting fog, heart hammering like a piston. Footsteps crunched. Hunter emerged from shadows, hoodie up, face gaunt under the brim. You came. Always. We hugged then, fierce, bone-crushing, his body shaking with silent sobs. I'm sorry, he choked. Dad. He saw the pic. Said I'm a disgrace. That Mom left 'cause of weakness like mine. Coach called me a distraction. It's all shit, Thomas. All of it. I held him tighter, rain starting to patter on the corrugated roof. We'll fight it. Together. But doubt gnawed. How? In a town where pride meant football, not parades, where queerness was punchline fodder at dive bars. He pulled back, eyes fierce. Run with me. Now. My trucks gassed up. We hit I-90 West. Never look back. Tempting. That American dream, road warriors chasing sunsets. But reality anchored me. Mom's weary smile. Lila's loyalty. The scholarship letters piling up. Not yet, I said. We face this. Show them we're not ashamed. He searched my face, then nodded, resolve hardening. Okay. For you. We kissed in the downpour, water streaming like tears, sealing a pact. But pacts break easy. Friday's assembly was mandatory. Superintendent droning about values and team spirit, the gym reeking of polished bleachers and hypocrisy. Hunter sat rigid in the team section, me up in the nosebleeds with Lila. Jake took the mic uninvited, joking about locker room surprises, the crowd tittering uneasily. Hunter shot up, chair scraping, voice booming. Enough. Yeah, I'm gay. Deal with it. Gasps rippled. Coach's face purpled. And Thomas? He's the best damn thing in my life. So fuck your whispers. Chaos erupted, cheers from some, boos from others, teachers herding kids out. I met his eyes across the divide, pride swelling fierce. But backstage, betrayal waited. Jake cornered me in the hall. Phone out. Think you're special? Caldwell's playing you. Told me it's pity, helping the fag feel wanted before he bails for college sluts. Lies? Or truth? My gut twisted. That night, Hunter snuck to my window, climbing the trellis like Romeo. Heard what happened. You okay? His touch was fire, but doubt chilled it. Did you say it? I blurted. That I'm pity? His face crumpled. What? No, Jake's poison. But hesitation flickered, a microsecond too long. We argued then, harsh words in whispers, accusations flying like shrapnel. You're ashamed, I accused. Still hiding behind the jock mask. I'm trying. Thomas, for us. He grabbed my arms, desperate. But the seed was planted, trust fracturing like glass. Saturday brought the storm, literal and figurative. Winds howled off the lake, uprooting oaks in the suburbs. I drove to the mill alone, needing space, but found Hunter there, pacing. We gotta end this, he said, voice dead. Dad's shipping me to Uncle Ray's in Toledo. Fresh start. Away from everything. My world tilted. No. We fight. I can't. Tears tracked his cheeks. Every look, every word, it hurts you. The pic? Jake sent it 'cause I told him about us. Confided, like an idiot. Thought he'd have my back. Betrayal. Double-edged, his slip to Jake. Jake's knife twist. I fucked up. We're toxic. You're running, I whispered. Rain lashing now, soaking us through. From me. From yourself. He cupped my face, thumb brushing my lip. I love you, Tom. That's why I have to go. The kiss was goodbye, salt and sorrow. Thunder rumbling applause. He walked to his truck, taillights fading into the squall, leaving me shattered on the mill floor. Grief hollowed me out. Lila force-fed me soup. Marcus offered shoulders, broad, kind. Weeks blurred. Hunter's absence a ghost. Team forfeiting games without their star. I buried in books, lit mag deadlines, but love's echo lingered. Springsteen's I'm on fire on repeat, burning slow. Then, a letter postmarked Toledo, scrawled in his chicken scratch. Miss you every damn second. Therapy sucks, but Dad's thawing. Come visit? H. Hope. Tentative. But scars run deep. Winter gripped Cleveland. Snow blanketing sins. Prom came and went. Me with Marcus. Platonic slow dances under disco balls. Guilt nipped. Hunter's text sporadic. Laced with I can't and wish you were here. Betrayal's aftertaste soured every maybe. Spring thaw brought reckoning. I drove to Toledo unannounced. The interstate a ribbon of resolve. His uncle's trailer squatted in a trailer park. American flags limp in the breeze. Hunter answered shirtless, surprise widening his eyes. Tom? What? We talked on the stoop, raw, unfiltered. His therapy confessions. Internalized hate from Dad's rants. The closet's crush. I betrayed us, he admitted. Pushed you away to save face. Stupid. Forgive, I asked, voice small. He pulled me inside, door clicking shut. Only if you stay. The bed was narrow, bodies fitting like puzzle pieces. reclaiming lost ground in sighs and murmurs. Dawn found us tangled, sunlight slanting through blinds, a fragile peace. But peace? Fleeting. Back home, Lila warned, don't let him yank your chain again. Wise. Summer job at the mill, ironic, filled days. But nights? Hunters' visits. Weekend escapes to put in bay. Ferry rides with beers and bonfires. Love rekindled, hotter for the ashes. Graduation loomed, caps and gowns aright. Hunter returned, cleared by coach on probation. The field buzzed, speeches, cheers. He found me after, under the scoreboard. OSU scouted me. Full ride, pride warred with fear. And us, he knelt, dramatic, all-American. Marry me? Someday. After we conquer the world. Laughter bubbled, tears too. Yes, but rings? Not yet. Life's not fairy tale. College hit like a freight train, Ohio State. Columbus a whirlwind of brick arches and Buckeye banners. The air electric with possibility. Hunter and I carpooled down I-71. His truck loaded with duffels and dreams. My acceptance letter to the honors program crisp in the glove box. We'd mapped it out, him majoring in sports management, me in English lit, weekends tangled in his dorm sheets, stealing moments amid the frat house roar. This is it, he said, hand on my knee as the skyline rose. No more hiding, but America doesn't shed prejudices like old skin. They molt, revealing sharper scales. Freshman orientation was a blur, syllabi stacks, our ace barking rules until the first tailgate. The Horseshoe Stadium thrummed pregame, scarlet waves chanting, kegs foaming under tents. Hunter's arms slung easy around me, public now, but eyes drilled us, teammates side-eyeing, sorority girls whispering behind solo cups. Fairy football, one muttered, loud enough to sting. Hunter stiffened but played it cool, tossing a football with the linebackers like armor. Dorm life tested us. His roommate, Brody, a corn-fed farm boy from Zanesville, eyed our late-night closeness with squints. Y'all. You know, right? He'd slur after parties, Bible verses sloshing with natty light. I laughed it off, but Hunter seethed, punching bags in the rec center till knuckles split. Back home, Dad's coming around, send a card, even. But here, feels like starting over every day. Classes anchored me. Seminars on Whitman and Baldwin, queerness woven into canon like gold thread. Professor Hale, a silver-haired dyke with a wicked drawl, pulled me aside after my essay on Giovanni's room. You've got fire, Riley. Channel it. I did, joining the Campus Pride Alliance, tabling with rainbow flags on the Oval, chanting for trans rights amid counter-protests from Westboro imports. Hunter tagged along once. Helmet hair must, looking lost among the glitter beards. Proud of you, he murmured, kissing my temple. But the field called louder, practices swallowing evenings. Conflict simmered. Midterms loomed, and Hunter flunked a bio quiz, echoes of high school, but now with bar crawls tempting detours. Study with me? He asked one rainy night, sprawled on my bunk in Weaver Hall. I obliged, flashcards amid pizza boxes, but distraction pulled. His lips on my neck, hands wandering. Focus, I chided, half laughing. He pouted, all golden retriever charm. You're hotter than textbooks. It worked, temporarily. But November brought the big game against Michigan, the rivalry a religion. Hunter started, scouts swarming, pressure mounting like storm clouds. Post-win, the team dragged him to the Union, shots lined up like soldiers. I waited in the quad, snow-dusting lampposts, until 2 a.m. when he stumbled in, reeking of tequila and regret. "Missed you," he slurred, collapsing onto me. But in the haze, words slipped. Brittany texted. "Old times sake." Harmless. Jealousy flared. Old wounds reopening. Harmless? Like Jake's pick. We fought. Ugly. Voices echoing halls. RA knocking with warnings. "You're slipping," I accused. "Back to the mask." He sobered fast. Eyes haunted. "I'm scared, Tom." NFL dreams? They eat gays for breakfast. One wrong vibe, and I'm benched. Vulnerability cracked his jock shell, and we mended in tears, bodies reaffirming vows. But cracks spread. Winter break sent us home, Cleveland a frozen tomb. Mom hugged Hunter at the door. Her welcome. Son thawing ice. Dad clapped his back. Gruff. "Heard you through for 300. Good. Progress. Humanistic in its quiet. But Toledo visits with Uncle Ray revealed Dad's therapy referrals. Grudging admissions of my own demons. Hunter softened, seeing his old man human. Spring semester. Betrayal struck sly. A party at the Phi Delts, Hunter's invite. My reluctance. The house pulsed with bass. Bodies grinding in red cups glow. I nursed a beer in the kitchen when Brody cornered me. Breath hot. Heard Hunter's bicurious phase ending. Back with chicks, saw him with that psych major. Lips locked. Proof? A blurry snap from the night before. Hunter and some redhead in a corner. Her hand on his chest. Heart in freefall. I stormed out, texting Lila, over. She drove up from Kent State, crashing on my floor with Ben and Jerry's and brutal honesty. Confront him. Don't ghost. Marcus called too. Voice warm from his Michigan gig. You're gold, Tom. Don't settle. I waited in Hunter's room, rage simmering cold. He burst in post-practice, towel around waist, surprise morphing to guilt at my glare. Saw the pic. Again. It's nothing. Nothing? Like your harmless text to Brittany. Voices rose, accusations volleying. He admitted it, pressure from vets, proving straightness to secure starting spot. I fucked up. Needed to. Fit. Betrayal. Layered now, his insecurity weaponizing our love. I'm done fitting, I said, packing my bag. Be the man you promised. Or lose me. Door slammed. I fled to the Olentangy. Bridges arching over dark waters. Contemplating jumps. Lila found me, pulling me to her car. Human, Tom. We're all messes. Summer scattered us. Me interning at a Columbus Lit journal. Him training camps in Florida. Texts dwindled. Miss you to busy to silence. Lila's wedding invite arrived. Her to a barista named Sam. Shotgun Vegas elopement. I flew solo. The chapel's neon a blur. Toasting their joy while mine curdled. Fall realigned. Hunter's apology letter landed like manna. Therapy twice a week. Cleared the air with Brody. Come to the game? I did. Scarlet jersey undercoat. Cheers deafening as he scrambled for a touchdown. Glancing to the stands, our eyes locking mid-celebration. Post-game. Under the stadium's underbelly. He waited. Flowers wilted from the crush. Forgive me. Not yet, I said, but let him pull me close. Prove it. We rebuilt slow. Date nights at Schmidt's Sausage House. Walks in Goodale Park. his hand in mine public, defiant. Pride Month. We marched, rainbow face paint, his arm around me as floats blared Lady Gaga. This is us, he shouted over drums. Unapologetic, the climax brewed. Bowl season, Orange Bowl bound, scouts circling like vultures. A reporter cornered him pregame. Rumors about your personal life. Address, camera flashes popped. Hunter froze. Then, yeah, I'm gay. Proudly. Shout out to my boyfriend, Thomas Riley, he's my MVP. The clip went viral, Buckeye boyfriend trending. Backlash howling from talk radio to Twitter trolls. Backlash bit. Death threats to his phone. Dad calling in tears. Proud. Son, but watch your back. Coach benched him for focus. Team splintered. I held him through nightmares, whispering, "You're enough." Humanistic grace. His vulnerability birthed strength. Ours a beacon. Yet, the knife twisted final. Draft night, Vegas glitz, suits and spotlights. We watched from a suite, my hand in his as Kamish called, Hunter Caldwell, Miami Dolphins. Cheers erupted. He kissed me fierce, broadcast live. But post-party, in the hotel haze, he confessed, they asked about you. Said fix it or fade. A scout's ultimatum, closet or cut. Betrayal's zenith. Choose, I demanded, city lights mocking below. He chose them. It's temporary. Till I'm established. Then we go public. I swear. Lies. Dressed in promises. I left at dawn. Cab to the airport. Heart a stone. Goodbye, Hunter. No plea, just truth. The years unspooled like film reels, jerky, overexposed, cutting to black too soon. I graduated OSU with honors. A thesis on queer narratives in the Rust Belt, earning nods from agents. New York called. A cramped walk-up in Brooklyn Heights, my launchpad. Freelance gigs at the Paris Review. Coffee-fueled nights pounding keys on stories of boys like us. Fragile loves in Heartland shadows. Lila and Sam honeymooned in the Finger Lakes, sending Polaroids of vineyard kisses. Marcus landed a screenwriting deal. Our calls late-night lifelines laced with, you dodged a bullet. Tom. Hunter. Miami's sun gilded him. Dolphins darling. Endorsements rolling in Gatorade ads and Nike cleats. SPN fond. All-American turnaround. But the tabloids tittered, beards on his arm. Models with vacant smiles. The closet door cracked just enough for winks. Our last text. Saw your story in the New Yorker. Brilliant. Miss you. I didn't reply. Forgiveness? A muscle. Atrophied. 5 years etched changes. Mom's cancer crept quiet. Lungs blackened from diner grease. Dad's hands trembling as he spooned her soup. I flew home monthly. Cleveland's gray, a bomb and blade. At her bedside, yellowed from chemo, she squeezed my hand. Find joy, baby. Like I found your dad. Messy, but mine. She passed in spring. Cherry blossoms mocking the grave. Dad softened further, confessing over beers at the corner tavern. Knew about you since high school. Loved you anyway. Human arc, bigotry bending to blood. Hunter resurfaced at the funeral. Anonymous in the pews till the reception, where he cornered me by the punch bowl. Older, lines etching his eyes. That quarterback glow dimmed to embers. I'm sorry, Tom. For everything. No please, just presence. We talked on the porch. Rain pattering on the awning. Ghosts of our youth hovering. Retired early, he said. Knee blue in the championship. now coaching Pee Wee in South Beach. Out and proud, started a foundation for queer youth sports. Pride stirred, grudging. Good, but the ache lingered, betrayal's scar tissue. He visited New York that summer. Flight delayed, excuses minimal. We met at a Williamsburg cafe. Hipsters clacking laptops, the East River glittering distant. Awkward coffees stretched to walks in Prospect Park. Dog walkers and drum circles a neutral ground. Therapy helped, he admitted. Bench under willows. Realized I betrayed myself most. You were the brave one. Laughter escaped. Bittersweet. Flatterer, but walls crumbled, brick by brick. Dinners followed, his hotel, my kitchen, pasta boiling as stories spilled. His foundation's first gala, kids with flags on fields. My novel deal, a debut on Forbidden Loves. Touches reignited, fingertips on forearms, hugs lingering. One night, after a reading at McNally Jackson, applause fading, he kissed me in the alley, soft, questioning. If you'll have me, I did. Slow rebuild. Weekends in Miami, turquoise waves lapping as we kayaked mangroves, his hand steady in mine. Conflicts arose, my book tour clashing his camps, old jealousies flaring at ex-mentions. But we talked fierce, open, therapy scars bared. No more closets, he vowed, tattooed on his rib out loud. Climax crested unexpected. A call from Cleveland, Dad's heart attack, stents and scares. We drove up together, Hunter's truck a time machine. At the hospital, monitors beeping, Dad rasped, brought the family. Acceptance. Full circle. Recovery brought barbecues, Lila's twins toddling, Marcus directing a short on our story, he swore it was fiction. Hunter coached a local league, rainbows on helmets, boys like young U.S. scoring touchdowns fearless. Yet, drama's shadow loomed. A scandal brewed, old teammate, now analyst, outed Hunter's phase on a podcast, dredging Jake's pick for clicks. Backlash surged, sponsors dropping, trolls doxing his foundation. Told you, I said, pacing our Airbnb during a getaway to the Keys. The world's not ready, he stopped me, hands framing my face. We are. Press conference next day, him at the podium, me at his side, voice steady. Yeah, I hid. Hurt people I loved. But love wins on fields, in beds, in this country we call home. Cheers drowned booze. Viral again, but affirming. Donations poured. Kids wrote letters, you made me brave. Humanistic close. Not fairy tale, but earned. We bought a brownstone in Columbus, Buckeye roots deep, him coaching at OSU, me adjuncting lit, writing sequels to our chaos. Weddings came, Lila's vow renewal, us officiating under oaks. Our own, quiet, city hall with rainbow cake, Mom's ring on his finger. One dusk, on our porch swing creaking gentle, Hunter's head on my shoulder, sunset bleeding orange over the Scioto. Worth the storm, he murmured. I kissed his temple, wind whispering agreement. In America's vast tapestry, flawed, frayed, we'd woven our thread, dramatic, emotional, romantic, human, whole.